Hello, my amazing people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across my platform. If it's your first time and you like what I'm doing here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification, and that way you'll be able to know when we upload a new video. Here in Linda's TV show, we react to all forms of videos, local, international, especially what is happening in Nigeria. I want to appreciate YouTube. Yes, I will keep on appreciating them for creating this wonderful platform that we are using to disseminate information to the members of the public. At the same time, I put a disclaimer. Yes, I need to inform YouTube what I am doing here. I put a disclaimer that this platform, Linda's TV show, do not and will not promote hate speech, violence, misinformation. We are here to educate, inform the members of the public about what is happening. In fact, myself, I don't like hate speech, I don't like violence, I don't like misinformation, and I don't like instigating war. But I want to inform YouTube that a call for self-determination is not a call of war. Please.
Nnamdi Kanu said he and his people want Biafra. Why the zoo is panicking that we, the zoo animals, don't want Biafra. Why Nnamdi Kanu said, me and my people, we want Biafra. The zoo is in the north and in the west, trying to impose, trying to tell us what to do in the east. Why they know that they have no authority over us, apart from their police and their army putting AK-47 on our heads. That is the only authority they have over us. But in our mind and our heart, they have no authority on us. We know that we are not together with Nigeria. We can never be together with Nigeria. But they are trying to force us to be together. That is what they are doing. So, all over the world, I have never seen anywhere in the world, including in the zoo constitution, where they say that anybody who said they want to leave the zoo has committed a crime. There is no any law whatsoever that says you must be with me. Forget about the so-called in the word. That word is always anytime I don't know why. In my mind, I am getting that word right. But when I want to speak it out, it's not possible. Indissoluble or indissoluble. Can somebody help me in the comment section? In my mind, the word is there. But I can't be able to talk it out because that word does not exist. For people who want to be free, there is nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. Negodi brain mother. Like if the way people are thinking is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Somebody wrote a comment, not paying for you, but get in touch with you. I think you people, I think it's time to unmark. It doesn't even know how to write. I think it's time to unmark you people using Biafra to rob people. You see, using Biafra to rob people. Who are the people using Biafra to rob people? You don't even know what to say. You are not paying for you. Are not paying for me. If you don't get in touch with me, how will you know what you want to subscribe? How would you subscribe? I'm the one to give you the direction on how to subscribe to the platform, to the software. Because if you don't get in touch with me, you cannot be able to subscribe. The software, I am the one who of course created my own part in the software. The software does not belong to me. So I opened it. I opened my own broadcasting, part inside the software. So if I don't give you the login, you cannot log in because it is my own part. It is my part. I have to give you the login. If you don't get in touch with me, you cannot get my logins. My logins to the software is not in the public, because if I make it public, then you hack it. People like you will hack it because you're a criminal. Oh, yes. So if you get in touch with me, I will then give you the login for you to log in and see how the software works, for you to be able to subscribe. Oh, yes. You are not paying for me. If you don't want to subscribe for the Biafran gospel, then you leave it. I am not begging anybody for it, because this is not a help for Biafra Unite. It is a help for Biafra gospel to continue, not for me. If I need help, I cannot be sounding like this. I will be on my knee begging. So I don't need any help. You are doing it for Biafra, not for me. So criminals like you who made that comment, you are just here to find who will associate with you so that you remove them from this broadcast to your own criminal part, so that you can be able to rob them, because you're a scammer. What you are here the comment you are making is not even your target. The target, you need people who will respond to your comment so that you begin to chat with them and take them out of this very program and corner them one side, give them one useless orientation and scam them. That is why you are here. I'm not going to mention your name, but people have already seen your comment in the comment section, so they know you are the one I'm talking to. You're a scammer. Nobody should respond to that person. He's a scammer. Because this is what they do. They come to my live broadcast to make friends in my live broadcast. Fake friends. Once you begin to respond to them, talking with them, then they will take you out of the broadcast and give you one orientation, then scam you. That is what they do. So I have to bust them so that people know. Anybody that is constantly responding to your comment, trying to get your attention, like this person here, run from that person. Is a scammer. Yes. So we have to continue. We must continue. At least on them, some idiot, when they come with their idiots, you respond to them without mentioning their names, so you don't give them promotion. So let us continue and move forward. Don't mind the idiot, they can distract us. The government told the Federal High Court in Abuja that the embattled IPOB leader made a broadcast on Biafra radio station, where he publicly declared his intention to break up Nigeria. And that is a crime in the minds of these primitive Futajalonians. In their own mind, it is a crime for one to say, I do no longer want to belong in this association. It becomes a crime. While in their so-called constitution, which they are finding it difficult to amend or to rewrite, in their so-called constitution, there is freedom for association. There is what they call freedom of association. Even freedom of speech is there, even though you are not free to speak. Because when you speak, you get yourself in trouble. Because why they are judging Nnamdi Kanu today is because he spoke. And how did he speak? He said that we want freedom. In their mind, it becomes a crime. In their mind, it becomes a crime. I want the zoo, Nigeria. I want Nigeria to show the world how freedom of speech, has become a crime in a democratic setting. I want them to show the world how somebody who said that I want freedom, whether you want to put it to break up Nigeria or whatever, whichever way, I want the zoo, I want Awomolo. Awomolo, you are the lead counsel to the federal government of the zoo and DSS terrorist organization. I want you to convince the world how freedom of speech has become a crime in a democracy, irrespective of whatever that person says. Sedition has been abolished because of democracy. Sedition has been abolished for democracy to thrive, because with democracy there will never be sedition, because with sedition democracy can never thrive in the world. It is not possible. So you have to you have to remove sedition. You have to abolish sedition for democracy to thrive. With sedition there will be no democracy. These are two things that work differently. They work in a different way. Listen, when you have sedition, you will never have democracy, because democracy is the rule of law, whereby there is freedom of association and freedom of speech. But with sedition, you cannot speak. There are some words you cannot say. That's why when they don't want to use the word sedition, rather they say incitement. Inciting and incitement. Inciting. They forgot that incitement and sedition is the same. Oh, yes. But when they say incitement, it makes it look, ridiculous. It makes it look bad. It makes it look like a crime. But in actual sense, it is not in the Constitution. Sedition has been abolished. It is not there. Because when there is, of course, freedom of speech, it does not have clauses. There is no clause in the freedom of speech that Constitution guarantees every human being in the zoo. There is no clauses that you must not say this one or you must say that. There is no clause at all. It is freedom of speech. Then when you say, like Nnamdi Kanu said Buhari was dead, why did you not put it in the charge? That should have been one of the charges. So when you say fine, you can never be in prison for saying something, for what you said. It is impossible. In a democracy, in a democratic rule, you can never be imprisoned for freedom, for saying something. If you say something that you cannot defend, then you pay fine. I've never in my life seen where somebody is in the prison genuinely, legally, for what he said, because of what he said. I've never seen it. In a democratic dispensation, I've never ever seen anything like that. But in the zoo, the reverse is the case. Somebody can be imprisoned for saying something, especially when you say that thing, and that is against somebody who is, believed to be mightier than you. You can be imprisoned. Or even though, because there is no law to imprison you, they can dump you in detention for many years. That is what is going on with Nnamdi Kanu today. Because they can never, there is no law to imprison Nnamdi Kanu. So that's why they kept him in the DSS custody. They don't want to put him in the prison, in order for the world not to say, how can you prison a man who did not do anything wrong, who only spoke and said that I want freedom? That's why they kept him in detention, so that he remains detention, not prison. You see the difference? That's why they kept him in detention, so that that word will continue to ring in the ears of the world, that it is detention that they have court approval to keep him in detention for so-called investigation. For 5 good years. Who is that person that is in detention for 5 years without case, without court? Only Nnamdi Kanu. So the zoo is panicking because Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast and said publicly that he wants Biafra. They target terrorism. This is to show you the kind of people you are dealing with. This is to show you the kind of people you are dealing with. When you are dealing with animals in human form, this is what you go through. This is what you go through. Now let's continue. Responding to a no-case application made by Kanu on Friday, Counsel made by Kanu, a no-case submission made by Kanu on Friday, which is today. Counsel to the federal government, Chief Adeboyega Awomolo-san, said the broadcast by Kanu caused Nigerians to live in great fears. Awomolo, when you are talking about Nigerians, by Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast causing Nigerians to live in great fears, I hope you are not counting Biafrans. I want to believe that Biafrans are not in your mind while you are talking about Nigerians, because I do not see any reason why Nigerians should live in fears or great fears when a certain group of people said they do no longer want to belong to this organization. Why are others panicking? Are you telling me that this group of people that said they don't want to belong again are the life wire of this organization? Why can't you make it very clear for the all and sundry to understand that the Igbos are the life wire of Nigeria? Whereas you people go on social media to bash us, to talk down on us, while in your mind, Igbos are the life wire of the so-called nation. Why can't you make it open? Make it public that the Igbos, the reason why you don't want Igbos to leave Nigeria is because the Igbos are the life wire of Nigeria. That once Igbos leave Nigeria, Nigeria will crumble. Why can't you make it public? Let us know this fire, all this brouhaha, because you can't be killing people because they say they want to leave. It is only in the zoo or some part of Africa. Why can't you make it public that the reason why we don't want you to leave is because the Igbo people are the life wire of Nigeria, that without the Igbo there will be no Nigeria? Can you make it clear and give us our flowers? Give us our flowers and stop talking down on the Igbos. Give us our flowers. That the reason why is because you, the Igbo people, are the life wire of Nigeria. That's why we don't want you to leave. The reason why you people are fighting the Igbo people, the reason why you people are unaliving the Igbo people is because you know very well that the Igbos are the life wire of the zoo, and once they leave the zoo will crumble. Make it very clear that all and sundry may understand your problem. How can somebody make a broadcast and say, me and my people want to leave this organization, and then it causes great fears to Nigerians? How? Oh, you have been banking on us. Okay. So you have been banking on us. So your survival as a zoo, or your survival as a people, or your survival as a country lies in the hands of the Igbo people. Isn't it? Now I know, because AC to come down, calculate, yeah, this thing, calculate, yeah, often, and in fact, I calculate go me years and years to know why Nigeria is not allowing the Igbos to leave Nigeria. But today, it's becoming clearer. It's becoming clearer. So we are the life wire of Nigeria. No wonder Nnamdi Kanu kwuru na ọ bụ na Biafra na Nigeria will die. It's becoming clearer now. So there's the sound, the so-called sound said the broadcast by Kanu caused Nigerians to live in great fears. This broadcast is not any other thing than Biafra want to leave Nigeria. We, the Biafrans, we are not living in great fears for Kanu broadcasting that we want to leave. So if the Nigerians, Yorubas, and the Fulanese, Hausas, and other ethnic groups in Nigeria are living in fear that Biafra people, through Nnamdi Kanu, said they want to leave the zoo, and you are living in great fears. So what are you hiding? Something that we don't know. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? Can you tell us what you are hiding? We are asking the Yorubas and the Fulanese. What are you hiding? What is that thing that you people are hiding? We want to know. That you are now living in great fears because Igbo people want to leave. What are you hiding? He told Justice James Omotosho to reject Kanu's claim that he had no case to answer in the 7-count terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. He appealed. He begged. He begged James Omotosho because he, Adeboyogo Awomolo, knows very well that true, Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. He knows. He knows that all the image, look at how he started. That Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast caused a great fear, or made Nigerians to live in great fears. One man. Now, Awomolo argued that boasting to break up Nigeria is a fundamental security issue. Should we now begin to define security? Should we begin to define security? Should we begin to define the real meaning of security? He argued that boasting to break up Nigeria is a fundamental security issue to the nation, and as such should not be considered as empty threat as claimed by Kanu. Let's continue first. As claimed by Kanu, empty threat. Let's continue. Because since I know Nnamdi Kanu, I've never seen him say that it was empty. Because Nnamdi Kanu has never begged Nigeria for his release. Nnamdi Kanu has never, let me make it very clear because I don't know where this man is going. Nnamdi Kanu has never begged Nigeria to free him. Neither has any of his lawyers begged for his release. Nnamdi Kanu will be released based on the rule of law, based on what the rule of law says, not by beg. Not by beg. You did not keep him in the custody for the past 5 years, hoping for him to begin to beg before you release him. Nnamdi Kanu is not begging to be released. Likewise, Simon Ekpa not begging anybody to free him. He equally made it clear to the judge that I cannot stop Biafra liberation. Tamper justice with mercy. Know that my people are dying. Nigeria is unaliving my people. So I cannot stop. As you are sitting there, I want you to know that Nigeria is killing my people. Therefore, you have to tamper justice with mercy. And I cannot stop Biafra. I can't give up Biafra. He equally told me, live and direct, while all of us were here listening and watching. He told me on telephone, live and direct. He said, Biafra unite. Continue what you people are doing. You people should continue what you are doing. Now, well on Iburu, no well on mebri feya, no bogunwero kainano. How many of you heard him said it? Live and direct, live while we were all here. How many of you heard it? Or say, Opolomo, Biafra unite. Continue what you people are doing. No bogunwero kainano. How many of you heard it? I want you to say in the comment section. How many of you? While we were live here, he said, no bogumwero no. Okwa diomimi. Some umokoko will not understand it. No wero nya ijinkia, no bogumwero no. Continue on what you are doing. How many of you heard it? It was live. On a live broadcast. While phone was put across, he was talking on telephone while I was live here. He said, continue what you are doing. No, bogunwere wakainano. Okwu abu nukuto okwu and obu okwu bu ihe abo ime onye nna ya dunyere oli ọ na-eji ọkpa agbarido. Ọ na-eji ọkpa tiwa do tatum. Otirie do. Continue on what you are doing. No bogunwere onwe kainano. On a live program. Onye empire dunyere oli oruwe di oji ọkpa atoka ọgbarie do. Otirie do. The moment he said that, Obi Rumani. Obi Rumani. And Obunina Iyafuna, there have been a lot of changes since that time. Since that very day, there have been a lot of changes. So many. And that is why the evil ones are panicking. Today they are all over the place is panicking. Onodugo adorable manaro. Hey, again. Onodugo adorable manaro. Cha. There's a lot of panic in the land of the evil ones. In the midst of the enemies, there's a lot of panic everywhere. Because Onodugo adorable manaro. They are shaking, they are quaking. Those who have made themselves, those that have made themselves the enemies, the impediment, they have made themselves impediment to our freedom. As I'm speaking to you now, they are quaking, they are panicking, they are shaking. And in Abayaragara, because Onodugo adorable manaro, Famanama Potago. Farm and and then when signature. I know me to your bro no ngwasiagi ga check ya. And well signature. And I left my mark. The scars of DOS. The scars of a lot joint broadcast. Where all of us were there, including Mazi Simon Ekpa was there. I hosted the program. I personally hosted that program. Oh yes. Mazi was there. Nelly Ofebu was there, Nsima was there, Owasofia was there, and the other lady that lives in Italy. I don't remember her name. Faith Ogala, yes, she was there. I think Barawa Sonny was also there. The moment we raised the matter of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, because by that time, Mazi Simon Ekpa did not see what Ifeanyi Ejiofor was doing. And he is not a person that acts based on what he's been told by anybody. Mazi Simon Ekpa is not a person that acts based on what you tell him. He's somebody that acts when he sees or when it happens to him. So for the fact that Ejiofor did not, attack or do anything against the Prime Minister Simon by that time, so he was not on the same page with us. So when we began to say, look, we have seen already, this is where this man is going, Mazi was, because he was in a constant communication with Ejiofor. Oh yes, Mazi Ekpa was in a constant communication with Ifeanyi Ejiofor then. So he told us, you cannot talk about or insult Ejiofor on my platform. And I said, Mazi, all of us are broadcasting this program. We are all broadcasting this program. So, not on your platform alone. It is on all of us, all our platforms. And what did he do? When Nelly went on talking against Ifeanyi Ejiofor, including Wasofia and everybody, he exited. He exited. But finally, at the end, did he see that? He saw it. Did we win? Did I win the matter? Yes, I won the matter. Because he did not just see it, but Ejiofor also went on to make him, Mazi Simon Ekpa, as his problem. Ejiofor made Simon Ekpa his own problem. He took it upon himself to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa goes down. You all saw his celebration when he heard that Mazi Simon Ekpa was arrested. You saw how he celebrated. He wrote episode. Ejiofor wrote episode celebrating the arrest of Mazi Simon Ekpa, thinking that that would be the end. He never knew. So did I win that matter? I won. In the matter of DOS, I won. Because before I engage, I look, I check, I cross-check before I engage. So the enemies know the reason why they are panicking is because I have left my mark already. And they know that in this matter, they are done. They are done and dusted. I'm telling you, they are done. I am telling you, because I've given them time for 8 good months for them to do something. They keep on telling our people stories upon stories, using propaganda to run what they call government. Onye nke abru propaganda bata, onye nke ọzọ propaganda bata. Why they are doing nothing? Demand evidence over emotions. Demand evidence over emotion. Counsel to the federal government also informed the court that Kanu in the broadcast directed his followers to unalive policemen along with their families, adding that over 170 security agents were unalived shortly after the broadcast. You see, no evidence. You don't have to tell the judge. We want to see the evidence and the families of those that you claim to have been unalived. We want to see evidence. Show evidence that this police officer was unalive because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told somebody to go and unalive that person. Bring evidence. Let the judge see it, not by telling. I've never seen any judge or anywhere in the world where a case is being determined based on verbal explanation. No. Verbal. You must show evidence. For you to win a case, there must be evidence. Unless ikpe mala eziokwu. Unless ikpe mala eziokwu, because ikpe ọbụna mala eziokwu n'ụwa aka azụ nọ na ya. Unless ikpe mala eziokwu. Ikpe na-amakwa eziokwu, which we all know. Mana aka azụ ya dịrị iwu, ọ nọ n'iwu na aka azụ nọ na ya. Oh yes. Ọ bụ iwu riri iwuriti na aka azụ balị ya. Before ikpe ama eziokwu n'ụwa aka azụ ya barịrị ya, ọ nọ n'iwu. So Awolowo, you cannot provide evidence, even though your own law does not support sedition. You are still here telling judge, a learned judge, educated judge, that it was because of Nnamdi Kanu's sedition that police, you say 170, you were recording it, yet you did not bring evidence. You said his sedition caused the death of 170 security agents, when you know there is no sedition in your law. You are trying to explain to the judge that is higher than you in law without evidence. You believe that after the explanation, judge will now say, okay, because you made a speech all the way from London, Udegina Edena London. Ikuroku na London, Udegina Edena Nigeria. No be juju be that. And some individuals have shame to talk about it in the court. In the court. The defendant made a broadcast. He probably declared himself as IPOB leader. Are we not the one he's leading? Did we dispute it? Why are you the one to dispute it? You come from the West and you want to dispute it? Are you the one he's leading? Does IPOB have any business in Yoruba land? Do we have any business in Lagos State? We don't have any business in Lagos State. And I heard somebody, oh, the sabotage is too much in this struggle. The sabotage is too much. I had somebody trying to sabotage our people in Lagos State just a couple of days ago. I'm going to use that for my broadcast. I will use that for my broadcast. Somebody was trying to sabotage the Igbos in Lagos on a live program. Somebody who claimed to be a commander was openly sabotaging the entire Igbo people in Lagos. And that person knows very well what he is doing. And that person knows very well that there is a man who called himself Igbo something Igbo chief or SND Igbo na Lagos, who is still behind bars for the past 1 year now, simply because he said he's going to ask ESN to come and defend them in Lagos. Simply because of that, knowing fully well that that man did not commit any offense. But Nigeria, through the authority of who is the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, kept him in custody till today for the past 1 year. That man, nobody's even talking about him. Just because he said he's going to request ESN to come and defend them in Lagos. Somebody who called himself a commander day before yesterday in a live program made a speech that Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Defense Force Lagos branch is ready. Shame on you, you saboteur. Do you have the capacity to defend Igbo people in Lagos against Nigeria? In Lagos. Igbo businessmen in Lagos, do you have the capacity? People are opening their mouth wide open, talking rubbish on social media, in the public. You know very well that that was a sabotage, a very big sabotage. Again, not just against Biafra, but against the Igbo race in Lagos State. You know it. But this very broadcast is not for that. I will come to that. I will definitely come to that. I will come to that for sure. I will come to that. A sabotage. It was. The defendant made a broadcast. He proudly declared himself IPOB leader, even when he knew that IPOB had been proscribed. He made a broadcast that the world will come to a standstill. Is that a crime? We want to see what the same as Nnamdi Kanu did, even when he knew that IPOB had been proscribed. Before IPOB was falsely proscribed, you know, which word am I going to use? Criminally proscribed by a criminal. Before IPOB was criminally and illegally proscribed. Illegally as a terrorist organization, because there was no any, you know, any law or court that imprisoned IPOB for terrorism. Oh yes, there's no court in Nigeria that imprisoned IPOB as a terrorist. So how can the leader be a problem? How can you proscribe it? How can you proscribe it when there is no court that has imprisoned it as a for terrorism? Who proscribed IPOB? Dev Omahi and the late Buhari proscribed IPOB. Did you bring any evidence? How are you unaliving people at the same time tag them terrorists and proscribe them? You have started the shooting already. You have shot us at Mpo. You shot us at Head Bridge on it. You shot us at Aba High School. In the midst of Operation Python dance, you proscribed us. While you are killing us, you are proscribing us at the same time. At that same moment, Boko Haram was wreaking havoc in the north. At that same moment, Zamfara is on fire by the so-called bandit. Till today, they haven't it. Instead of calling them terrorists, they choose to call them bandits. Till today, herdsmen under Mieti are still wreaking havoc. As I'm talking to you now, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday was Friday. On Thursday, 27 people, official number, massacred in Plateau State. 27. And it's not making around the internet. People were busy talking about the death and burial of Buhari, a man who has died since. Why people are being unalived in their farmlands in Plateau State? That same day before yesterday, on the 16th. That same day. And here you are, talking about a broadcast. Are you not ashamed of yourself that you are keeping Nnamdi Kanu for the past 5 years in the custody just because he made a broadcast and he said he's a leader of IPOB? Are you the one he's leading? The answer is no. Did any of his people complain that he's leading them or he's leading them wrongly? The answer is no. Why are you bothered? Why are you bothered, Nigeria? The law of Nigeria prohibits words capable of making Nigerians live in perpetual fears. Tell us where that law is. Now we have come. The law of Nigeria prohibits words capable of making Nigerians live in perpetual fears, threatening to bring Nigeria down. The aim is to create Biafra. Is it a crime? That's my question. And not a mere boasting, and there are consequences for such boasting. The lawyer argued. We want Awomolo to tell us, you don't just say the law of Nigeria. Give us the constitution number so that we, as I am live on air now, I can be able to bring it. It is my job as an investigative journalist. I will bring it, we will read it and interpret it. That is what we are doing here. Don't just tell us the law of Nigeria. Tell us where, article what, give us quotation. So we read it. The Google is here on my front. We'll browse it and bring it up. We'll read it and interpret it. Oh yes, but of course they cannot. You are lying to the judge, thinking that the judge is a coward. You think that the judge does not know law. Awomolo pleaded with the Awomolo pleaded with the judge. Awomolo This is where we wanted to arrive. We wanted to arrive here. You see, all the things he has been saying is just like the same thing the so-called witnesses were saying during the time of witnesses. He has nothing to offer. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, Awomolo begged the judge to reject the no case argument by Kanu, but order him to enter his defense in the charges against him, adding that the no case application was misplaced and misconceived. Even though Nnamdi Kanu enters argument, can you defend him? Can you defend the questions he's going to ask you? Even if Nnamdi Kanu enters argument, can you defend the questions? Me. If I ask this Awomolo questions, I swear he will never have any answer to it. Forget politics. Throw politics in the garbage. Let us talk reality. If I ask Awomolo, what was our crime that Nigerian army has to maul Igbo youths in Mpo? Can Awomolo give me a genuine response to that? If I ask Awomolo, what was our crime that Igbo youths have to be unalived at Aba High School? That I'm talking about when there was no ESN, or when there was no Biafra Liberation Army, when there was no even the so-called prescription, there was no prescription. Can Awomolo give me a response? Why should Igbo youths be mauled at Onitsha Head Bridge in 2017? Awomolo, can you give me a tangible response with clear and substantial evidence why Nnamdi Kanu was enjoying his bail in 2017 after spending almost 2 years in Kuje prison? Can you give me the reason why and what the Nigerian army was looking for in his compound? Awomolo, can you answer that? Can you respond? Awomolo, can you give me a tangible answer with a substantial evidence why the Igbo people have to be dehumanized? Can you give me the reason why Nigeria will not listen to the Igbo race when they say they want to be free from Nigeria. At least listen to them and ask them, why do you want to leave? As in, call a conference. Or are you telling me that Igbo as a bloc, we do not merit a roundtable discussion with Nigeria government? Or rather sending the army to come and kill our youths? Awomolo, can you tell me the reason why Igbo race will be neglected within Nigeria with all our exploits and expertise? Awomolo, can you give me the reason why Nigeria has to break the international, laws and treaties and travel all the way to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu? Can you give me a tangible reason to that? The answer is no. Awomolo, can you give me the reason why you want Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial in Nigeria, knowing fully well that Nigeria has already committed a crime for kidnapping him in Kenya? Awomolo, can you answer? You don't have any answer to give. Awomolo, can you answer why Nnamdi Kanu should stand trial in Nigeria? You can't. You don't have any question to answer. So the best thing to do is to end the case. Nnamdi Kanu said, I have no case to answer. End it. Let everybody go to your tent, O Israel. Because if Nnamdi Kanu begins the argument, you cannot give the answers. The first answer, give me the reason why I will stand trial. If I am Nnamdi Kanu, the first question, you want us to argue this case, right? Then give me the reason why I will stand trial in Nigeria after committing a heinous crime. International crime. International crime. How do I stand trial in the zoo? Can you give me the reason why Nnamdi Kanu was not released after Court of Appeal said that Nigeria has committed a crime against Nnamdi Kanu by kidnapping him and renditioning him to Nigeria outside the rule of law? Awomolo, can you answer that? You don't have any answer to give. You don't have any answer. Why should Nnamdi Kanu stand trial? Why should he start the argument? Can you answer that? Or you want to play down the gravity of the crime committed against Nnamdi Kanu by the Federal Republic of Nigeria? You want to play it down? You want to play down such high level of crime? It is not possible. Before any argument will start, you have a question to answer. If you don't have the answer, take Nnamdi Kanu back to Kenya and they compensate him with Biafra. The only compensation we need now is Biafra. Only. Now, however, Kanu, through his lead counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, had faulted the prosecution of his client in the charges and asked the court to discharge and acquit him. You see, I did not read here. Honestly speaking, I love that. Has faulted the prosecution of his client. Imagine. I haven't read it. I only read it now. Me and you, maybe I said because on the screen when since maybe you must have read it before me. You listening to me, no, we keep because it has been on the screen since engineer kwoku. You see, he faulted the prosecution of his client. Why wouldn't he fault it? It's fault. You can never build a house on a sand. You can't. Because once that house has a faulty foundation, it can never stand. There is no any amount of pressure or pillars that will make that house to stand. There's no amount of pillar you will give that house to make it stand. Once the foundation is faulty, it will never stand. So, Kanu Agabi son, Chief Kanu Agabi son, faulted the prosecution of his client. Yes, because it's faulty. You can't kidnap. That's why they just allow them to be bringing all those useless, so-called witnesses, and they are just looking at them laughing. They're not there for case. Nnamdi Kanu is not there for case. When you are done, you release him, because there will be no case of Nnamdi Kanu. There will be no case. Because you cannot build a house on a faulty foundation. You can't. A house can never be built on a faulty foundation, because no matter the pillars, it will never stand. It will still fall because the foundation is faulty. You cannot commit a crime and expect Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial on top of your criminality. Nah. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Now, among others, Agabi said that throughout the proceedings, no single witness was called to tell the court how was incited by Kanu to take to violence. You see? How was incitement by Kanu? How was incited by Kanu to take to violence? Yes. No evidence to prove that you say Kanu made a broadcast and people were unalive. You did not bring any evidence. You just said it. You just said it. Do you bring any? Is there any connection to prove that we are doing this? The reason why we are unaliving this policeman is because Nnamdi Kanu told us to do so. Did you bring any evidence like that? You only played a broadcast. And they began to tell George, 27, 100, 50, all those people that have been unalive in Kaduna. In fact, today now, as people were unalive, again, today, let me even look at that headline, because I've gotten another news today, that people have been unalived again in the same Plateau state. Today. Now, it's actually not quite long ago. Let me check that headline. So, who told them to go and unalive them? Who told them? Buhari, the late Buhari, said if what happened in 2020 what? In 2011, if what happened in 2011 happens again in 2015, the baboons and monkeys will be soaked in their blood. That was the word of the late Buhari. And in 2015, people were unalive. People have already begun to run helter-skelter, living in fears because of the word of Buhari. Who arrested Buhari and who kept him in custody to come and explain why he said what he said? Or are you going to say it is because Buhari said the monkeys and bamboos will be soaked in their blood? That means those that have been unalived were unalive because of Buhari's statement. You didn't say that. Nobody said it. Nobody can say it because there's no evidence. When those people were unalive, the killers did not say, we are unaliving this person because Buhari sent us to go and unalive that person. There was nothing like that. Even if they said it, it can still be propaganda, just to incriminate somebody or just to make somebody look evil. You have to still bring connection. You must bring conversations, direct conversation, direct communication, where that person sends somebody to go and unalive that person. If you don't have anything like that, then shut your mouth up. Now look at it. This is of course published by Punch News. I don't want to remove this one so we don't digress. You see, headers unalive Plateau farmers over grazing on millet farm. Headers unalive Plateau farmers over grazing on millet farm. Now, these headers brought their cattle to millet farm. I don't know where is millet farm, but it's in Plateau State. Brought their cattle to millet farm and they are grazing. Now, these farmers say, how can you graze on this farm? They were unalive. Today, 18th of July, 2025. They're not talking about it. It was reported by Punch. Let me give you the headline so you can check it yourself. In this place, we don't do propaganda. Anything we tell you is gospel. The headline, headers. When I say unalive, you already know what I mean. I don't want to be using the word because it's not good to the social media that we are using. Headers, unalive Plateau farmer over grazing on millet farm. Millet, the words, the spelling of that millet is M-I.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.